you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. So you have this one I've never heard of, Lotmaxx. I've never heard of that brand.
Okay. Let me figure out how to flip my screen. There we go. So yes, this printer is brand new. It was sent just like a week ago. And where's my brand name here? There you go, Lotmaxx. And it came with tools and replacement parts, and I've seriously used everything that it gave me and replaced everything that I could, just because I'm like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
I learned on the Ender 3 how to 3D print like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was all set up for me and everything, so that was easy, and I was just printing frames like crazy. And then I got this one and was continuing the frame print, and it's just like you just said, like the extruder.
Mm-hmm.
And I meant to set this up.
Is it preheated? Not yet.
I'm doing it right now. Sorry.
No problem.
So I go to filament, and it has this cool load feature. Instead of like manually pushing it,
Mm-hmm.
so here we go. It's heating up. It will, you just push this button and it feeds out a couple of inches of filament, but it crazy kicks. This little doodad just kicks like crazy, or clicks.
Right. So what that is it just like fails to extrude for a minute. So if there's like more resistance than it can overcome, like it's trying to be pushed through there too fast, or maybe the hot end is not hot enough, or there's some clog in the nozzle that it can't get through, it'll do that.
Okay, so I hit up the heat up to all the way to 250 and tried.
For what material?
Oh, it's just PLA. I have a couple different brands. I've had Overture, and it was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I got this one.
PLA is not going to be having a good time printing at 250. That's super duper high. And I suspect what you're experiencing there is called
I was just trying to get it to go.
Yeah. So let's test.
So most of the time I'm just printing at 200.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, that should be fine then.
Okay. Okay, so I'm almost there. It's at 194.
No problem.
But I'll just give you an example. And maybe, I can't remember when I very first loaded it, if it was clicking right away.
Mm-hmm.
I only noticed the clicking when I tried to print my second frame.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember, honestly. But it has been printing these guys really great. And it hardly clicks at all. And then I printed a couple of these, and those actually worked.
Nice.
But then with using the Ender 3 file, I mean, it was under extruding for sure. Like it's all crunchy.
Yeah. So how
I printed those worked out great too.
So you're just using the same slicer with the same settings that the Ender had then? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Which wasn't working. And then someone just last night sent me, he says, this is set up more for the Lotmaxx settings.
Okay.
And that's printing okay. And that's where these came from.
Well, there you go. Sounds like you're done. That sounds
okay,
like...
but then like this guy, I tried to take those same settings and applied them to this print that I found on Thingiverse.
Right.
And I use those same settings, and it's like totally under extruded, I think, right? It's like crunchy and like it's just not cool. And it's still clicking. Like, here, it's ready. Let me. So I didn't like zoom in on it, but did you hear it?
A little bit, yeah, up there.
Here, let me do it one more time. Let's see if I can focus on it. Okay, here, I'm hitting confirm. thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally not even moving.
Let's go ahead and do a little test here. So do you know how to take the tube out of the top of the hot end there? You see where it goes into the red right there?
This
Right.
time?
Do you know how to take that out?
Yes, only because I replaced this tube yesterday.
Sure. Let's go
So
ahead and do that real quick.
I pull this little tab out
Yep, exactly.
and I push this in or down.
Correct.
Oops.
Yep.
Did my whole Z.
You might want to use two hands. Push down and pull out with the other one.
I'm putting you down for a sec.
It's fine.
Oh, I'm having a hard time getting it to go in. Hold on. Oh,
What
there
is it at right now, the temperature?
Like 200.
Okay, cool.
So you want me to pull the
tube out of its little fitting, yeah. And then the filament should come out with it. It should be sticking out of the end of the tube there, yeah?
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh. Can you push it through the tube a little bit more? Go ahead and
yeah.
you know the mechanism, yeah, back there where it grips in. Can you like the lever and then push the filament more through the tube till it comes out the end of the tube?
Here, let me
See what I'm saying? Right. Push.
Well, no, because maybe it's melted.
Yeah.
And solid in the end of the tube.
Maybe it's stuck in the tube, huh?
So no, it won't go in anymore.
Can you do the feed function and leave the tube out like this and see if it just comes out of the end of the tube as you do that feed?
Even though it's not hot?
It should be hot, isn't it?
Well, this part.
It's not. Yeah, no, it's okay. We just want to see if it comes through the tube. Oh, okay.
I see. So. Here, can you hit the confirm button? I got my son here helping me now. Okay.
Cool. All right, that looks clean.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that looks like everything is working with respect to the extruder mechanism up there, driving the filament and clamping it and going through the tube. That all checks out. So then the other half of all of this is everything that's going on in the hot end. Do you have some other color of PLA filament besides that blue that you're working with?
I have.
Even just like a 1 foot segment, just a tiny piece.
Like orange?
Yeah, that's PLA?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's use your flush cuts to cut off a little like 1.5 foot long segment of that, just a little bit. Make sure it's straight. It's not all bent up, just a straight segment.
Yeah. Okay. Now don't lose the other end.
Yeah, for sure.
We did that once before.
That's a good way to mess up a lot of stuff.
Okay, so this guy.
So take that segment and just push it straight down through the barrel of the hot end there where the tube is removed from. Just straight down through there. And see if it comes out cleanly. Just sort of push it, sort of imitating the push of the motor. You got to keep. You don't leave it in there. Keep pushing.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna set it clean again.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna get my son to record for me.
Cool. And feel how this goes through there. Does it feel pretty clean?
Oh, it feels way clean.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. It was clean at first. No, it's going.
Is it pushing out orange material or is it still got blue?
No, it's orange. It's meeting some reason. Like I'm pushing harder now, and it's not. It's really slow going.
I see.
Like how easy could it be? I'm going at like I don't know.
Let's go ahead and pull it out. Pull those little boogers off the end. of the nozzle. You should be able to, if you have the nozzle removed, what you should see is it comes out the same diameter that it goes in, and it completely goes through super clean. So if you want to try to remove the nozzle and then push it through with the nozzle removed, you should be able to then feel if there's any like resistance inside there.
So you mean like the nozzle as in this little guy?
Exactly.
So take this guy off from inside there.
Correct.
And then push it through like that spring-looking heater.
You just push it through the same way you were just doing, only without the nozzle on it.
Okay. So you want me to like take the nozzle off?
Can you do that? Do you have a socket to do that?
Yeah. Well, I have to take this fan thing off, right?
Not necessarily. You should be able to take
Okay.
the nozzle off without doing that, but maybe if you want the space to do that, you can do that.
Okay. I think I got the doodad here. Yeah, hold on a sec. Here, I can balance the phone right here.
Got it?
Okay. I forget which way it goes, I think. Oh, yeah, it's loosening.
Sweet.
Let's see if I can just spin it with this guy. No, go back to the wrench. And thank you so much. My husband and I have been talking
Sure.
about contacting you, and he's like, call the Jedi person.
The Jedi.
Okay.
There we go. All right, so now just set that aside for a second. Now just push it through like you were doing before. And given that the bottom opening is the same size as the top opening, you should feel almost no resistance at all. Because it should come out the same diameter it goes in. Should be able to push it through. Okay, I'm already telling that that's not the case, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait, here it goes.
Go ahead. Yep. Keep going. Pull,
Yeah.
pull, pull, pull. Pull, pull. Don't stop.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's all flushed out clean now. Now, it's probably worthwhile to attach a new nozzle at this point. But if you want to use this nozzle, it may be viable. But if we attach a new nozzle and it works perfectly, then what you can do from there is take off that new nozzle and put this old nozzle back on and see if this one will work. But I recommend that going forward with our little test here, we use a new nozzle if we can.
Okay. Let's see if I can screw this in without burning myself. I'm just trying to catch the thread. Let me mix with my.
Huh. It may help you if you raise the Z height by a little bit so you can get under there better.
Shoot.
Just a second.
I'm pulling the wrong way.
Hendrix is going to help out.
Is Hendrix your cat?
Yep, he's right here. Hello.
Lower. Am I going the right way? Why won't it catch? And then it touches for so long that it gets hot.
Yeah, I think you're going the wrong way.
We could allow it to cool down, attach it, and then heat it back up if you like, maybe. That might be more.
So righty tighty, right? I'm gonna like spin this clockwise, right?
That's should be correct. That's correct there, huh?
Wait, no,
Oh,
no, no.
oh no.
Blowing on it.
Maybe you want to take the cover off, give yourself that extra room to check it out.
Oh, no, I can totally see it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now I'm looking at the threads. I'm like, am I sure it's going on? Okay, got it. I was going the wrong way.
Oh well.
I didn't think of doing any of those things you suggested. I've been watching so many videos.
Uh-huh.
And already I'm like, wait, why didn't I think of just disconnecting that right there?
It's cool. So basically what we have now is we have 3 variables that are confirmed working properly. The extruder and the stepper motor back there, that's all fine, as we know. And also the tube inside, that's all fine. And then we also have the barrel of the hot end has been purged out and is clear. And then we have a brand new nozzle on here. So we have 3 new perfectly working variables here. The last variable that's the hardest to get right is going to be the settings. So
yes. Oh my
so
gosh.
if you have a file that you've properly and correctly printed before, I would say go ahead and try to print that now. And then if it works, then go ahead and set up your other file.
Should I just cut this right here?
Yeah, you can cut that there.
So print the file that I was having trouble with, or the one that was just starting to work?
Well, how did you set those 2 up? Did you set them up differently with different slicer software and settings?
Yeah. All different
Okay. So what we want here is a control file that we know it always works. It's really quick to do. Maybe like a 1 hour, half-hour file. Maybe one of those little bands, right? The little ear bands.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Can we maybe slice one of those up real quick? Just a single one?
Yeah, there's one sitting on the disk here. I'll use that. Okay, so here, can you aim that for me? Okay, so I just shoved this in here as far as it went.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good, right?
And the clip goes, and when you pull back out on the tube does not come out, correct? It's seated in there correctly?
Yeah.
If you pull on it, it comes out. That's a little bit of a problem.
Okay. Clip on. And no, it doesn't move. Okay, so I'm gonna try doing the load feature again.
Sure. The tube also, you should see like a worn kind of spot on it where it grips down into like you should see how deep it's supposed to go in the fitting, right? There should be like a worn kind of spot on it right?
Although that already got pushed in, yeah.
Great. It's not sticking out and visible. So
no.
That's good.
Settings, filament, load, confirm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still doing that, clicking. I don't know if it's any better.
And we're still at 200 degrees?
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually at 210.
210? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna print.
Sure.
Right? I'm looking for which one.
And this isn't like some weird like high temp PLA that needs to be hotter than normal PLA, right?
No.
It's like normal PLA.
I've fed it different PLAs, Overture, and this one, and then the one that it came with, I was working with too, which I don't know what that was, but it was PLA.
I would say make sure you look at the labels and there's not like a drastic difference where one's like, this needs to print at 235,
Right.
for some
Right.
crazy reason.
I did get PETG once, and I fought that for a really long time, and then I just put it away because I can't figure that out.
Mm-hmm. I basically just use ABS settings for PETG mostly.
Okay, and my board here, I have blue tape and hairspray, and it's
Sweet.
been working okay.
Excellent. It sticks pretty well.
Yeah, I forgot to confirm. Okay, now it's heating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this one prints at a speed of 60, and then the infill says it prints at 120.
Okay, that's
And
pretty
that's
fast.
where it's clicking, right?
Mm.
And then I can adjust it by going to options, speed, extrusion,
What does this say here? This speed multiplier.
100%, but I can dial it down to like 65%, get it to stop clicking.
Well, the hardware looks to all be in good shape. Everything's cleaned out. So all the settings are, it's a huge, lot of different variables with settings. And sometimes I have the idea of like, if I just change this one setting, it should just have this one effect and work, right? And it's like, no, it never does. It's like the best way to adjust settings is to definitely always like have a default profile that you're always working with, and maybe adjust one single setting, like one speed setting or like one infill setting or one layer height setting, and see what effect that has. And then just in this controlled way, try to have little improvements, but don't try to just improve everything all at once. And then just because that's just working with a bunch of uncontrolled variables, and you just want to work with controlled variables and adjust one at a time.
Even your question of like, what speed are you printing? I was super, I didn't even realize that there were so many options within Ultima Cura.
Yeah.
That like these menus within menus that I just wasn't selecting, and didn't realize that so many different speeds went into a print.
There's actually two kind of domains of speed. One is everything that's in the software there, right? And it has different speeds for like different travel, different infill, like all these types of actions it does at different speeds. And then the other type of speed is in your printer. There is like a speed multiplier. So it's default set to 100%, but you can say like slow everything down to 80% or like speed it up to 110, something like that. So did you have like a speed multiplier in the screen of your printer where it just...
I think that's it.
What is that? Does that say 100%?
100%.
Okay, yeah. So that's what that means.
Select. Oh, I guess I meant extrusion, and then I don't know what that is. 5% of 10. Oh gosh. Oh, I guess I can adjust it 5 or 10. So yes, I guess it's just speed of extrusion.
Okay.
But yeah, it's at 100%, and then the file. I think this is it. This was confusing to me. This is set it fine, which is 0.1.
Yeah.
And layer height is 0.4. Are those two different things?
Well, fine is just going to be the name of a layer of like a profile. It includes all these numbers.
Oh, okay.
When you open fine, it probably had some other number than 0.4. Maybe you've adjusted it since then.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I think that's why that's orange. It's like, hey, this isn't default.
Okay. Yeah, this is what the guy sent me that had been working. It was set to fine 0.1, but then layer height was 0.4, and I'm like, why are those not the same? I don't know. But this is it printing the single frame, and it has been working in the past with just like 5 or 10 clicks all together from that thing.
Okay, that's extremely helpful to know. So what we want to do, given that, is after this prints successfully, you want to swap the nozzle back out to that old nozzle we just took off there and see if it behaves the same way. Because then we will know that if it does, then both of these nozzles are good. Right?
Wait, so this is the nozzle. Does that already look yucky to you?
That does look like yucky. It looks like it can't screw in properly because it's got like a bunch of filament on the threads.
So do you think maybe I didn't shove that white tube on far enough and it was extruding around the white tube?
Yeah, that's possible.
Huh.
For sure. And that's why I had all that little bit of like backed up gummy stuff that you purged out when you pushed it through without the nozzle on.
Yeah, that's
all that stuff.
Yeah.
All those boogers.
Uh-huh. Okay. And you know what? It's probably that and that
Mm-hmm.
and that and like all these different factors that just make it what it is. I don't know. It's
Yeah. Controlled variables are your best friend in 3D printing. Whenever you can find someone else's default profiles for all the settings, you always want to use that. You never want to, get into it all yourself and try to get it to work how you think, because it's just like, it seems like it has a mind of its own.
And depending on what you're printing too, like, yeah. I was trying to take what printed last night, into this thing, and it didn't translate well. Like, it just, like.
And you're telling me you use the exact same profile settings for both of those?
Yeah. But of course, they're different objects, like this wasn't
Right.
much fill, or this has like a ton of fill. And this was made to print a lot quickly. And this was a detailed, I don't know, finished thing. I don't know.
What's going on now? Does it look like it's coming out mostly, or?
Yes.
Oh, I do. It's blue. It's hard to see the blue on the blue tape. But I can see it there now.
Yeah. And it's really clean and it's not clicking at all. So.
Yay.
Yeah. I think those were some major problems.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then you can get these nozzles for like in a 10-pack or something on Amazon. Is that right?
Yeah, I ordered I think a pack of 3 of those things for like $15.
Okay.
Yeah, they're super. I mean, they're fun to like, can I use this again? Maybe like do your little experiment. But if you don't want to do any experiments and just throw it away and get more, that's totally fine too.
Yeah. Even cleaning this up. I mean, would you like heat this up with something to get all that clean?
I saw one person take a nozzle like that in a vice grip, and then they just blasted it with a blowtorch, and everything just melted out of it.
And then just wipe it with a paper towel or something. Yeah.
I don't know. If that's necessarily a good idea for you here, but you can certainly try all kinds of experiments with cleaning that.
Okay.
Also, if it's ABS, you can always just soak it in acetone. ABS will just dissolve out with acetone easily, but not PLA.
Are you printing these frames? Are you doing this whole PPE thing?
Yeah, I have them on my printer behind me here.
And what are you printing with? Do you use PLA or do you use?
I use ABS.
Okay. I'm so scared of anything else but PLA. Like, it just seems like ever since I got that one PETG roll, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, for sure. You should always want to stick to one material if you can, because different materials print at different temperatures. So if you go to like print at polycarbonate, which prints at like 300 degrees, and then immediately you go and print PLA after, you'll have a little bit of residual polycarbonate in your head still, and the head heating to the 200 for PLA won't purge out the bit of polycarbonate you still have in there. So it's helpful to do these purging techniques, like where you take off the nozzle and purge out the barrel.
Okay.
if you're switching materials all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that purge was super helpful and good to know for for future reference. And I'm so curious. I'm like, I really hope I shoved that down in enough.
Uh-huh.
Like, given that I wasn't all that great before.
Hmm.
Yes, I
Well,
hope
if it starts kicking again, you'll know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's done then, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So if it's clicking again, you would slow down the speed. Would you maybe slow it down to like 50, or just make sure you're slowing down the infill speed? What adjustment should I make to the file if it is?
Well, rather than recommending specific adjustments, because as I said, I've never been confident doing that, I would just say that find the file that's printed the best and get your settings to match those settings,
Okay.
whatever those are.
Okay. And make one adjustment at a time.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to try to push the speed, just increase the speed by like 2 points or something, and then do the exact same file with all the other variables exactly the same, and see if you can get away with that. And that's how you sort of push your limit.
Okay. I so appreciate you, Blake. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. What can I give you in light of this help you've provided?
Sure. Well, basically what I'm doing with these recordings is I'm putting them up on my Facebook page, Blake's 3D Printed Gadgets, and I have QuickBooks now, so I'm able to send out estimates. And sometimes I've done consults where folks don't want it recorded, where they pay me. But as long as you're able to tell other folks with 3D printers about me, and I can start having more clients and billing people. That's where I'm trying to go.
Okay.
Or you could Venmo me if you like to send me a Venmo.
Yeah, let me buy you a coffee at least.
A copy of what?
A coffee. Something.
Oh,
something
a coffee.
Let me Venmo you something. I would love to.
I see. Okay, sure. I'm not familiar with other ways of using Venmo besides just getting money, though.
Yes. No,
things?
that's exactly what I meant. Let me send you something through Venmo. Yeah, send me your Venmo, or unless it's super easy, like your name.
It's Blake Goss.
Okay.
Right? I think it is. Let me look at this. Where's my thingy? The Venmo thingy. It looks like it says Blake Goss -3. Have there been 2 other Blake Gosses before me, or what's that about?
I don't know. I'm Nicole Lopez 120, I think. And it's GOSS?
Correct.
Okay. I will find you.
Okay.
Blake, thank you.
Sure. Thank you. You can look for my link too, and you can share it with your friends.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
Bye.
Goodbye.